Batu looked up at the sky again. The great eagle was still circling, wings spread wide. How is it never tired? He thought to himself. Then a strange thought struck him. Could this bird hold some grudge against me? He quickly dismissed the idea. Haven't I made enough enemies among men, without now imagining even birds are against me? Now then, Batu continued, my second teaching you ask. I already told you the Kipchak's saying at the start. It's not the wise man who conquers the enemy, but the wise man who knows how to make that enemy submit to his will, how to hold him. So my second lesson to you is this. A defeated enemy can become your ally, learn to keep him close. And here's the thing, holding a conquered people in submission is never easy. My third lesson connects directly to this second one. I'm listening, Khan. Before we set out for the land of the Rus, our great ancestors and fathers conquered Maurana, Khorasan, Siberia, northern China, the Kipchak steppe, and the Caucasus. Since Allah created the world, no one had ever witnessed such devastation. Arab travelers of that era wrote, the Tartars showed no mercy. They spared no one, woman, man, or child. They slaughtered them all. They cut open the wombs of pregnant women and killed the infants inside. Yes, we were merciless, we were brutal. Without that brutality, our ancestor Genghis Khan could never have united the hundreds of warring Mongol clans scattered across the endless steppe. Whatever else may be said, the very fact that he forged a single Mongol nation from that chaos is no small thing. His Mongol descendants will never forget that gift. Yes, Genghis Khan was cruel. He slaughtered, he destroyed. And we, his descendants, did the same. Had we not, we could never have conquered other nations, could never have subdued them. We made sure that whoever raised a blade against us would see nothing but bloodshed in return, so that no enemy would ever look at us without fear. Does a people that does not fear you ever truly submit? What we did was justified. Batu looked to the sky once more. The eagle was still there, circling. He couldn't shake that strange thought that had crept into his mind. No, it must hold a grudge against something red, or perhaps against me specifically, he thought. My third teaching, Batu said again, is this. Just as our Creator placed the nose between two eyes so that neither eye could poke out the other, you too must set your two eyes against each other, in a sense. When it comes to a great people like the Rus, and the nobles and boyars who serve under them, learn to turn them against one another. Draw one closer to the horde, push another further away. So I have given you 3 teachings. The first is the wisdom passed down from your grandfather, Genghis Khan. The second is the method your grandfather Jochai practiced. The third is what I, your father Batu, have practiced in my own time. Follow what the 3 of us have done, and you will never let the Golden Horde fall. The sun was setting. Ulagchi had already left. Bathed in the crimson light of the dying sun, Batu Khan appeared from a distance, as though soaked in blood. The great eagle still circled in the sky above. There had been times before when Batu returned to his camp, and the eagle flew back to its nest at the same moment. But today, the 2 of them seemed to be watching each other, waiting, as if both sensed that their final meeting was at hand. Was that why Khan Batu remained seated, unmoving? Whether from hunger, or because it had failed to bring food to its hungry chicks all day, the eagle seemed to want something from Batu. Neither would leave. The bird only occasionally beat its enormous wings and dropped lower. Though Batu could not see the eagle drawing nearer, his heart sensed it. A chill ran through his body, as though death's approaching claws were already digging into his back, and for a moment he even hunched forward. Was this fear of the death now coming for him? Had the great Khan, whose iron heart had never once flinched before a raised sword, truly been broken by the mere sight of a single black bird. No, Batu did not fear the eagle, however swift or fierce it might be. Rather than fade away slowly in his bed, growing weaker day by day, he would gladly face his enemy head-on and die fighting. He almost longed for exactly that kind of death. As if mocking him, "There's nothing you can do about this," the eagle swept its wing across the crown of Batu's head as it passed overhead. The Khan lifted his head. His face went pale as a shroud in that instant. His eyes caught sight of the golden clasp tied with silk cord on one of the eagle's legs. He recognized the bird at last. This was the very eagle he himself had raised from a chick, the one that had brought down countless wolves in its time. 2 years earlier, Batu had gone hunting with this same eagle, tracking a grey wolf that had long evaded capture, hiding somewhere among the mountain gorges. The wolf, which had been attacking livestock and travelers, had finally worn on the Khan's patience to its breaking point. When it showed itself for just a moment at the edge of a ravine, Batu removed the eagle's hood and released it. One of his men struck the war drum once or twice in triumph. Batu himself rode up on his swiftest horse, the one trained to seize birds from the air, arriving just as the eagle had already caught the wolf. But the eagle, having gone so long without catching prey, hadn't waited for its handler to arrive. It had already torn the wolf apart, drunk its blood, and devoured its still warm heart. By the time Batu reached it, the bird was simply perched atop the carcass, gorged and satisfied. Furious that he hadn't been the one to deliver the killing blow to his enemy with his own hand, Batu leapt down from his horse and struck the eagle repeatedly with his braided leather whip as it sat atop the wolf. The bird shrieked, blood in its eyes, and shot up into the sky. It never returned after that. Now it swept past the crown of Batu's head once more and soared back up into the endless blue. There is no worse enemy than a friend you've betrayed, Batu thought. If only I could have told Ulagchi, be a true friend to your friends and a true enemy to your enemies. Never betray a friend. Never make peace with an enemy. Just then the eagle folded its wings and plunged downward. Batu barely managed to draw his bow and loose one arrow before it struck. He had no time for a second shot. The massive eagle, one wing shattered by the arrow, screeched and crashed to the ground nearby. Flapping its one remaining wing against the earth once, twice, its blood-red eyes fixed on Batu, it went still. Two bloodshot eyes met. Batu could not bring himself to draw his bow again and finish off the enemy who had once been his friend. Suddenly he grew faint and lost consciousness. The mighty Khan, who had once shaken half of Asia and Europe to their foundations, died the very next day. His friends wept. His enemies rejoiced. Yet in the end, Khan or commoner, everyone's final resting place is the same, the silent, embracing earth, its stone arms open wide for all alike. Sartak learned of his father's death only when he reached the banks of the Urges River. He had his companion Koyak perform a Christian funeral rite for his father, then continued on toward Karakoram without turning back. When he arrived, Mönch, the great Khan of the Mongol homeland, was deeply impressed that Sartak had made it to the Kurultai despite his father's death, and declared that such devotion proved he would become a true statesman. Mönch confirmed Sartak as the new Khan of the Golden Horde, and to the vast territory of the Golden Horde, already stretching from the far east to the far west, he granted even more land still. This concludes Chapter 1 of the history of the Golden Horde. In the next video, we'll begin Chapter 2. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.